Hi, I'm Deborah Savran of Seattle Wellbeing, and I work as an integrative health and wellness coach. So part of my job description is to support people who are interested in understanding what resilience is and how to deepen access to resilience in their everyday life. So let's start at the very beginning. There is a universal source of energy. The quality of it is like a star that never dims. And I'm going to call it today universal energy, but you can call it whatever has meaning to you. You might want to call it E=mc². You might want to call it God. You might want to call it divinity, but whatever it is that makes sense to you to call this energy, at the bottom line, we all have a knowing that it is. And it is such a powerful and vibrant energy that is available to every single one of us all the time. Even though sometimes we might not feel the energy, we might feel disconnected from it, but then when we step out from the proverbial dark cloud that has come over our day or seemingly our life, bam, there it is again, shining in its full light. And we even have sayings like, I got my mojo back, or I feel like myself again, when we reconnect to that. And so the really cool thing is that in the human body, this universal energy, it looks like this. It's something we source right within our very own body. And every single one of us has this within us to resource. But there is a caveat, because once you connect to that energy, that doesn't mean that you never have to sleep again, or that you can just eat whatever and whenever you want, or do whatever you want. It's actually quite the opposite. The more that we connect and feel the beautiful qualities that dwell right within us, the more that we actually want to deeply care for ourselves and also become more and more aware of the natural rhythms in life that there are to align with. Each one of us has a deep natural wisdom of when we are to rest and when we are to move, what we are to eat that supports feeling light and vital in your particular body and where you're at in your evolution. And we also know what things that we eat or consume that make us feel heavy or foggy or low energy or disconnected. We also all do know when we start going to our outwardly seeking poor cousins, as I like to call them, even though that's a generous description, those substances that we use to get a quick hit, a stimulation, and of course these are not sustainable forms of energy and often not without cost. We also have this amazing ability to have an awareness, an inner awareness of what is coming up that we're meeting in our lives, and to, as we like to call it, feel, deal, and heal. This evolutionary way of being in relationship with ourselves and looking inward is the polar opposite to meeting the world in reaction, absorbing other people's energies, taking things on, and then we end up carrying a body that is so heavy with emotion. So what this basically boils down to is there are two basic forms of energy. There is this inherent, immanent, universal energy that we can always reconnect to. It's naturally who we are, what we are. And then there is the outward seeking energy of taking on the world and absorbing, reacting, giving away, and And so what resilience is a bridge that gets us from when we've been thrown off into this more external seeking energy style, we might call it. And resilience is like the bridge that brings us back to our natural connection. And that's really what it serves. We don't want to stay in resilience for long. We use it to come back to connection. Once we're in connection, we don't need resilience anymore. Resilience is a much far lower tool, so to say, than just being in connection with universal energy. But there are so many ways that we can be drawn off track, and all of us at some point or other, some of us it's happening all day long, every day, and others it's once in a while that we get pulled off of our center and become outward seeking. We might be as simple as trying to get a compliment from somebody, or getting accolades or recognition for something, a project we're working on. It can be even like an argument, which even in an argument even though it's not a comfortable situation, we can get like an outward stimulation from that. There's a myriad of endless examples of ways that we get pulled off of our center and our universal energy and look outside of ourselves to be stimulated and get energy somewhere outside of us. And once we do that, what we then tend to do to cope is we numb ourselves out or distract ourselves. So we might binge watch on Netflix, we might eat a bunch of chocolate, or drink alcohol, or take drugs. We might, fantasize into a novel. Like, there's an endless list of ways that once we've been thrown off, that we, rather than coming back to a connection with ourselves, do things to try to not feel what is going on and just distract and numb ourselves from the state we're in. So resilience is both a movement back to our inner energy source, paired with resourcefulness that supports that return movement. So my job as a health coach is in supporting people who want to understand and strengthen their resilience and to increase their awareness of what resilience actually is and deepen their understandings in how to source more their universal inherent energy, do a lot less absorbing and taking on of the world, and resource, self-care, people in their community, movement, exercise, whatever it is for them that helps them to hold steady in their connection with themselves. But before I leave you for today, I am going to offer and share a really quick and simple meditation that is very supportive in bringing you back to that inner connection and being in your body, and it's focused on our eyes. So just get into a comfortable position where you're comfortably seated and your spine is straight, and then just very gently bring all your awareness to your eyes. And actually bring your focused awareness now to just your eyelids. Feel the lashes and the eyelid, and then bring the eyelid to close over the eye. And we're going to do this a few times. And what you can bring your awareness to is the fact that your eye is actually round. And so as the lid moves over the eye, it actually curves around the eye as it does so. So just do that a few times until you really get the sense of the spherical nature of your eye and how the lid is constantly moving back and forth over this sphere. And once you really get that sense, you can just keep your eyes closed. And then bring a deeper awareness to the lid in that it also provides a warmth. You can open your eye again to feel the relative coolness on the eye when it's open, and that how the lid coming over the round eye is like a little tiny blanket for the eye. And you can actually feel this warmth. And then once you have both of those sensations, just for a moment, just hold the eye. Let the lid over the eye give you this sense of being held. And for me, simply doing that exercise, I feel always more in my body and connected. And so until next time, enjoy your day.